5 True Scary Stories. Story 1: The Shape-Shifting Creature. Our first story comes from Gabriel, who had a terrifying encounter with a creature known as Cadejo in his hometown in Costa Rica. Late one night, Gabriel and his brother Miguel were walking home when they spotted a large black dog with glowing red eyes. The dog started chasing them, and the boys ran for their lives. They managed to make it home, but the creature followed them, trying to break down their front door. Gabriel's quick-thinking mother managed to lock the door just in time. The next day, they learned from the local elders that the creature was a shape-shifting entity that haunts the area. Talk about a close call. Story 2: The Black-Eyed Businessman. Next up, we have a story from Lou, who had a bizarre encounter in the heart of New York City. Lou was walking through the financial district when he saw a homeless man being approached by 2 businessmen with pitch-black eyes. The businessmen offered the man a wad of cash, but their movements were jerky and unnatural. Lou watched in horror as the homeless man took the money and walked away with the businessmen. As they passed by, Lou could hear them speaking in a language he'd never heard before. It sounded ancient and otherworldly. To this day, Lou wonders what really happened that fateful afternoon. Story 3: The Banshees Warning. This next story comes from Tom, whose grandfather passed away when he was just a teenager. The night before the funeral, Tom was sitting on the porch when he heard a bone-chilling scream. He looked up to see a woman in a flowing white dress with long black hair standing in the yard. Next to her was his grandfather, who had died just hours earlier. Tom watched in disbelief as the woman let out another unearthly scream before vanishing into thin air, taking his grandfather with her. Later, Tom learned that the woman was a banshee, a mythical creature that heralds the death of a family member. Story 4: The Red-Eyed Creatures. Our fourth story takes us to the Philippines, where a man named Carlos had a run-in with a creature known as an aswang. One day, Carlos was outside when he noticed a large black bird with deep red eyes watching him from a nearby tree. Later that night, he saw a giant crab with the same red eyes scuttling through his yard. Feeling uneasy, Carlos went to the local elders for advice. They told him that the creatures were aswangs, shape-shifting entities that prey on pregnant women and unborn children. Luckily, Carlos's pregnant wife was unharmed, but the memory of those red eyes still haunts him to this day. Story 5: The Vampire Next Door. Our final story comes from an anonymous viewer who had a terrifying encounter when he was just a child. One night, he heard a scream coming from outside his window. When he looked out, he saw a man crouching over a woman's body. The man's face was pale, and his mouth was stained with blood. Suddenly, the man looked up and locked eyes with the boy. In a flash, he grabbed the woman's body and vanished into the night. The next day, the boy found a silver necklace at the spot where the attack had taken place. He kept it as a reminder of what he'd seen. But that wasn't the end of it. Soon after, the boy started having nightmares about blood-soaked walls and waking up with mysterious bite marks on his arm. Was his neighbor a real-life vampire? He may never know for sure. And there you have it, 5 true scary stories to keep you up at night. If you like this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell so you never miss an upload. Leave us a comment with your own scary encounters, and thanks for tuning in to Scaratastic.